What's up, everybody? John Eric Polai here with my MMA news, and today we will be taking a deeper look at this weekend's main event at UFC 290, where Alexander Volkanovski is returning to featherweight. He'll be defending his title against the current interim featherweight champion, Yair Rodriguez. This is, of course, with champion versus interim champion. This is a unification fight. Really looking forward to this one. I really feel like this one is a great matchup, and this does have the potential to be an epic fight. Maybe even, who knows, fight of the night worthy contention here for this one. Now, just a little bit about the matchup before we get into some other things here. I'm just kind of curious with Alexander Volkanovski, just how does he respond in this one? Of course, in his last fight, he lost to Islam Makhachev. He went up to the to fight for the lightweight championship, and no shame in losing to Islam in that fight. It was a great fight. Very close fight, too. I mean, Volkanovski definitely had the opportunity to win that title, give him that rare champ status, but he did lose the fight. Now he is moving back down. But it's just curious to see, you know, he hasn't lost in the UFC ever. And in fact, this is his first fight since 2013. So you kind of almost have to ask yourself, will that weigh on him? Is he upset about the defeat? All those questions, of course, will be answered. I'm sure he'll be asked throughout the course of the week, and we will have the answer to that question. But while all that's going on, and those questions are there, on the other side of it, Yair Rodriguez is extremely confident coming into this one, and rightfully so. He's looked great in his last few outings, especially in his last fight. I believe it was that same night that Alexander Volkanovski lost to Islam Makhachev. That same fight with Volkanovski moving up, they had that interim title fight. Yair Rodriguez fought Josh Emmett, and he absolutely steamrolled him. So that's how he won the title. He's definitely confident coming into this one. So that's just a few key notes about the matchup here. Let's get into some things here now. So as always, how we work is we do a little breakdown, looking at records and such. We'll do a tail to tape, look at some odds makers things, end this with the prediction. So let's get into the breakdown. We'll start with Alexander Volkanovski. I mean, what's there to say that's not already said about Alexander Volkanovski? He's an absolute stud. He's well-rounded. He's hardworking. I think at this point, if you called him the featherweight GOAT, it's absolutely fair. You want to sit there and have a discussion with the likes of Jose Aldo, with the likes of Max Holloway, who Volkanovski has now beaten 3 times. I'm sure we could get into it. I'm sure we could debate things on that, but it's pretty well understood. I think at this point, Volkanovski's got to at least be in that conversation, if not already the greatest of all time at 145 pounds. As a matter of fact, in his career so far, undefeated at 145 pounds. In the UFC, included, undefeated at 145 pounds. So let's move on now to Yair Rodriguez. For Rodriguez here, pull up his record. He is 3-1 in his last 4 fights. I did see somebody talking about this on Twitter, saying that they're not that good. I highly disagree. Victory over Jeremy Stephens, longtime veteran of the sport. I know he kind of stumbled a little bit late in his career there, but still, that's a great win on the record either way. Max Holloway, he did lose that fight, but to be fair, that fight, absolute war, fantastic to watch. Yair Rodriguez won, I believe, 2 rounds in that fight. Both men, I think, went to the hospital afterwards. Max Holloway, we said before, right? He's in that conversation of greatest of all time at 145 pounds, so that loss, not bad. Brian Ortega, he has a win over him. That got ended real early. Ortega suffered an injury real early into the fight. Wish we would have saw more minutes there, not going to lie. Nonetheless, it's a win. And, of course, like we said before, he steamrolled Josh Emmett. Now, not only, that's just his last 4 fights where we said, all right, he's real confident as of late, but how about this too? He also has wins over Korean Zombie. We all remember that knockout, right? The last second with the elbow and everything. And he also has a win over Dan Hooker. So those are very, very quality wins for Yair Rodriguez. Great fighter. And again, that's part of the reason why I think this has this potential to be a really great matchup here. Let's get into the tail of the tape now. It really does favor Yair Rodriguez. Not going to lie here. He's 4 years younger, 4 inches taller. He does have a shorter reach. A little surprised at that one. one. But one thing, though, I know we're looking at this like, oh, he's bigger, blah, blah, blah. Volkanovski's used to this, right, guys? And we've seen it time and time again. All throughout Volkanovski's career, he normally is the shorter fighter, the smaller fighter. So, no, not new territory there for Alexander Volkanovski. I think he's never faced so far in his career. So, a little bit of the layout here. Let's talk about the odds makers and how they see this one. I know I'm kind of making this case. It could be a very close fight. Odds makers are disagreeing. Let's start with DraftKings, official betting sponsor of the UFC. They have Volkanovski minus 380, Yair Rodriguez plus 290. FanDuel, Volkanovski minus 400, Yair Rodriguez plus 285. Sportsbetting.ag. They usually keep things kind of close because they have a bunch of different side bets and whatnot. But Volkanovski minus 200, Rodriguez plus 160. BetMGM, now we're back to these bigger numbers here, minus 400 for Volkanovski. They have Yair Rodriguez at plus 300. And finally, Unibet, Volkanovski minus 120, Yair Rodriguez at plus 310. All right, so now we got through all that. We're here at the end of the video. Let's get into the prediction. All I'm going to say is do not sleep on Yair Rodriguez. I think if he's able to use his length, use his distance, use those big kicks like we've seen him do in the past, really could make this fight interesting. Think he absolutely has the potential to be that big dog that gets the win. And anybody who fights Volkanovski now is probably going to be a big betting underdog, more than likely, with everything that Volkanovski's been accomplishing and racking up. But if you have the money, might not be a bad bet to bet on Yair Rodriguez here. He really does have the tools to do it. But here's the thing with Volkanovski, if you're looking for the safe bet, for the conservative bet, the bet that I'm going to go with, I think Alexander Volkanovski is going to get the win, more than likely by decision. And the reason why on that one, I mean, just look what Volkanovski's done throughout his career. I mean, he's always been the smaller fighter, always got it done. His boxing has been incredible throughout his whole entire career. And his last fight against Islam Makhachev is supposed to be, you know, if Volkanovski can't get taken down, he's going to beat him on the feet. We saw it the other way around, that he didn't get taken down, and it was on the feet, but Islam Makhachev got the better on the feet. A little surprising there, but still, that I think we showed that Volkanovski really does have it in that grappling department. I just think there's a few more ways for Volkanovski to win. He's the safer bet. I think Volkanovski does get the win, but don't be surprised, though, if Yair Rodriguez is to pull off a upset here. But again, safer bet, Alexander Volkanovski by way of a decision.